Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. The story of the garden. In 306 BCE, Epicurus moved to Athens and did something revolutionary. Instead of teaching in the public squares or elite academies, he bought a house with a large garden outside the city walls. He invited a group of friends to live there with him, including women and enslaved people, which was nearly unheard of in ancient Greek society. They didn't spend their days feasting on wine and swan meat. Instead, they lived on a diet of bread, olives, and the occasional piece of cheese. Epicurus famously once wrote to a friend, "Send me some preserved cheese, so that when I want to, I may have a feast." To Epicurus, the cheese was a luxury because he didn't need it to be happy. He had mastered the art of the quote. He didn't spoil his simple meal of bread by wishing for a banquet. He looked at his bread, his water, and his friends, and recognized that there was a time in his life when he had hoped for nothing more than this exact piece. Why the quote matters today. The core of his garden philosophy was ataraxia, a state of freedom from fear and bodily pain. He believed that most human suffering comes from empty desires, the pursuit of fame, immense wealth, or immortality. Here is how his philosophy applies to that specific quote. The hedonic treadmill. We often think, "I'll be happy when I get that promotion car house." Epicurus argues that once you get those things, you'll immediately start hoping for the next thing, never actually enjoying the arrival. The perspective shift. By remembering that your current reality was once something you prayed for or worked toward, you freeze the cycle of desire. You allow yourself to actually inhabit your achievement. The power of enough. Epicurus taught that if you can be satisfied with enough, you are wealthier than a king who always wants more. A modern reflection. Think of a person who spent years studying to get a specific degree. The day they graduate, they are ecstatic. But 2 years into their career, they're stressed and eyeing a more senior role, feeling miserable that they aren't there yet. Epicurus would sit that person down in his garden and say, "Look at your desk. Look at your paycheck. Remember when you were a student, exhausted and broke, dreaming of exactly where you're sitting right now? Don't spoil this moment by craving a future that hasn't happened yet."